Pregnant horse refuses to give birth, but when the vet sees the ultrasound, calls the police. Ben noticed his pregnant horse suddenly lying down. He had anticipated that Felicia would have some changes as her pregnancy proceeded, but he had not imagined his mare's transformation into an entirely new species. He called the veterinarian, and when the doctor saw the ultrasound, he immediately picked up and called the cops. What they witnessed in the horse's belly was unbelievable. That day, the mare attempted to kick and bite him as he drew nearer to her. Ben noticed a knot bulge as he touched Felicia's bloated belly. It started moving. The bulge had something weird, and he had no idea that his horse would one day have him caught in lies and sitting in front of the police. Ben had always wanted to have horses, and after years of saving, he was finally able to buy a mare that he named Felicia. The two of them hit it off right away, and Ben soon found that taking care of her was the best part of his day. He lacked the funds to purchase a second horse. Ben was inspired to come up with a novel solution to his dilemma when he noticed that Felicia appeared to be pretty lonely. Ben therefore made the decision to pay a stallion to make Felicia instead. This was standard procedure in the sector, and it was typically done to produce particular horse crossbreeds. Still, Ben wasn't looking for any particular traits except to provide Felicia with a companion and, soon, a foal. So he began looking high and low for the right fit. Little did he know that he was about to throw himself into a living nightmare. The man on the phone told Ben that everything would be okay and spoke about the procedure with ease and assurance. The breeder's visit to Ben's farm was scheduled by the two of them, and everything went as the breeder had predicted. Felicia and the stallion mated, and before Ben could even begin to worry, it was all over. The breeder got his payment and asked the farmer to schedule an ultrasound soon for Felicia to confirm the process. He requested an ultrasound from his nearby veterinarian after 2 weeks. Felicia was pregnant, and everything appeared to be in order, much to his relief. The subsequent several months saw a natural progression of events. Ben informed the breeder over the phone that the outcome was successful. He shared the same joy that everything was going as planned. Felicia, on the other hand, resisted going to sleep and paced her stables. Additionally, she turned aggressive towards Ben as well as outsiders. The farmer had no idea what was wrong. She became increasingly restless and hostile towards him and the other animals around her. Ben even called the veterinarian to ask for advice but was told that mild personality changes were expected. After 11 months, Ben had completely given up on trying to settle Felicia down. Ben admired the vet's cool demeanor, but something didn't feel right, and he was about to find out what that something was. Ben observed Felicia sleeping in an unusual way one morning while he was walking around the farm. It was evident that Felicia was in pain, but Ben felt lost on how to help. He called the veterinarian again, and after explaining everything, he was told that his mare might have started her labor and thus needed privacy. Ben was unconvinced despite the fact that the veterinarian and logic urged him not to be alarmed. This odd bulge was not normal and got Ben worried. He had never before seen or experienced it. It was unnaturally shaped, and seeing it immediately alarmed the farmer. He explained the bulge and expected the vet to give him another speech about staying calm. But to Ben's surprise, the vet agreed with Ben. The vet asked Ben to return and try to comfort the mare as much as possible. Ben was presented with a difficult decision by the veterinarian. They could try to physically restrain Felicia for the ultrasound and delivery, but they run the risk of hurting both the mare and themselves. Finally, after months of pain and anxiety, Ben got the answers he was looking for. The bulge was a hidden tracking chip. This was wholly illegal, and while Ben had no idea it was even there, the veterinarian wasn't convinced. He told the farmer that he needed to call the police. The horse owner was in disbelief. But before he even considered questioning the vet, he heard a police car's loud sirens approaching his property. 20 minutes later, Ben was being questioned by 2 police officers while they were seated in front of him. First, they asked him where he had bought Felicia from and why he wanted a mare. It was only when Ben mentioned the breeder he had used that the police finally seemed to believe him, and to his surprise, they had a picture of him, but it was a mugshot. So this breeder had an insidiously bad history. Therefore, this breeder had a pernicious past. In order to come back and steal Felicia, it turns out that he targeted her and planted the tracking device. The breeder would not have succeeded in doing so without Ben's unceasing concern for his mare. Felicia gave birth to a healthy foal while Ben was being questioned by the authorities. Felicia's chip was taken out by the vet as well, and the police were able to find the breeder and apprehend him once more thanks to that. As soon as the chip was removed, the mare reverted to her mellow and sympathetic nature. Ben couldn't have been happier. While his way to adding another member to his collection was far more traumatic than he could have imagined, in the end, he was grateful that both Felicia and the foal were safe and healthy.